I have a question and also a very brief comment regarding the structure of the book. If I remember correctly, and maybe I'm mistaken, but I think the dreams are all fairly longer than some of the other sections. And I don't know if it was just a coincidence or what. But my question really is about you, escritor angolano. And I must confess that I know very little about you. I live in the US, I'm Brazilian, I live in the US. I know you are very celebrated in Brazil, but I know very little about you. And I'm curious about what kind of reception in general you have in Angola, and particularly what kind of reception this book had in Angola.
Okay, but in Angola, well, in Angola, there are not so many readers because the books are very expensive, so people can't buy the books. I remember it was not all time like that. In the socialism time, we had just after the independence, the country was a socialist country. Well, it was a dictatorship also. But there was a good thing. The state supports at that time the books. So the books were very, very cheap. So my first book had the first edition of 15,000 copies at that time. So 35 or something years ago. And it sells very fast. It sells very fast because the books were very, very cheap. Now the books are very expensive. There are very few publisher houses also. So some of my books are not published in Angola, come from Portugal or from Brazil. Of course, very expensive. So there are not so many people reading. But what I feel when I present my books in Angola is that there are a lot of young people that want to read. Well, yeah, that's what I feel. But yeah, it's very, very difficult to buy a book in Angola. That's the problem. Last time I presented a book in Angola, I remember that there are sometimes there are three young guys that buy a book for all of them, and so I signed for same book. I signed for three different persons because they can't buy a book alone, so they join to buy a book. That's a problem really in Angola that time.